Let there be peace and love. Welcome to Satsang. So as I see lately quite a few of you come from different backgrounds, and I don't know which exactly, I will speak of scriptures. What are they? What are they, the scriptures? The scriptures I speak about concerns the knowledge of the self. It is the end of all the Vedas. There is one part called Vedanta, the end. It is taught after knowing so many other things for the body and the mind. This is not my concern. So, from where this self-knowledge comes? I've been taught through my guru. I learned from my guru. My guru learned from his guru. And we can go on like this till one may say, even my guru may say, my real guru is myself. I know it from myself. It comes from who I am in reality. It comes from that which is not subject to time, transformation, and changes. It comes from that where the mind cannot hold down anything. So, they've been a bit codified, structured, this spontaneous self-knowledge, to convey it not in a wild way for a few, not in a wild way. I'm lost because this subject, yes. And you see the scripture, what I see when you learn this way. There is one very good point which is missing often to those who have not learned this way. It sharpens the discrimination. At least you learn to have good discrimination. Those who hop from one guru to another, generally what they lack is an excellent discrimination. Because they take whatever they think is important from one and then from another. There is not a deep way to see what's real, what's not real. Now, the advantage not to learn through scriptures is that not only, if I speak only of the guru who knows what he says, not only we live in a natural way, good discrimination, but what for you have discrimination? Is to make the mind surrender. So, to realize yourself. With scriptures, I fear it stops at discrimination. Unless the guru who teaches that way himself will leave aside the scriptures to point out personally to the seeker, you are that, and then he may take it. So I just say that, you see, because maybe it's not so clear all what's going on in this field. Anyway, the one who realizes it doesn't need the scriptures to speak. So according to his good mind or cuckoo mind, it will be transmitted in a good rational way or in a wild way. And it doesn't matter. You can always say anything that you believed or that you think. So I can say, which is always important for one who still seeks, to have good company. And that's how I could see my own master. He loved to, he didn't need the scriptures, but he loved to read them, to enjoy, to have the good company of the self expressing this way. So sometimes, if you still read anything, why not to read one or two lines of those recognized books whose theme is self-knowledge, recognized books. And of course, the company of your own self is more direct, or the company of those who are loving that direction. I may tell a bit more about discrimination. When you trust whatever is expressed in satsang, if you hear whatever you can describe is not you. You see, you have to apply to everything. There is no exception there. So you may not be fooled then by an experience which looks real, but yet you have heard very well or very often whatever you describe. It's not who you are. And then you will have to apply it. You will have to apply it to what looks real to you, and yet there is a subject and a description. Too much. And when you hear you are that, you cannot argue that there is nothing. You may not see it yet, because one veils himself with some concept, with some trust in something else. So one has to be very aware. You are a yogini?
I try my best.
What do you want?
Peace. Peace.
Peace. Have you to make an effort for that?
I made an effort for it?
No, have you to make an effort to...
Can you say it again?
Yeah. Have you to make any effort to be peace?
If I have made an effort.
No, you have to. Do you have to?
Do I have to?
Do you have to?
Huh?
Do you have to make an effort?
But that's what I say. What do you say?
Have you
to do you
No,
have to? No, do you have to make an effort?
And what did I say? Okay, anyway, sorry. Sorry.
If I have to make an effort,
That's a good answer.
right now it's good. I feel I'm fighting for it sometimes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And what do you mean by peace?
No more fighting.
So it will be the opposite of fighting.
Surrender.
Ah, no. No. That is not surrender. It will be surrender when you don't take any opposite to be real. So fight and to be relieved from fight, it is still, you see, knowledgeable. You can still describe or know what you live. You are aware of your experience. So peace, I would say, is who you really are. Is that which never was a fight or a no fight, which are the expressions of who you are. You have to know that what you expressed, fight and relief from fight, they are still expressions. So from where this comes?
I don't know.
Very good. The mind doesn't know. So here the mind has to surrender to its own origin. And as you are always yourself, you have not to make effort. You have just to make the effort not to grasp as you are in habit to grasp things or to want to transform things. Because then it will happen to a bogini. So somebody who thinks he's the doer. A yogini is the one who has seen is not a doer. Okay. Yoga, union, or just to be oneself. Boga is to be united to some enjoyment or states. States.
I have very violent images sometimes.
They are clouds. Some are dark, maybe not pleasant. If you don't fix them, what happens?
They just are.
Huh?
They just are.
No, they are not.
They're not. Okay.
They just fade away. You see, if you take anything that you can see for real, you are caught in this hallucination. Okay. So, I think it's a real guideline. But never forget, you are already yourself. It's because you taught so many things, you believed in so many things, that you feel veiled, separated from your own nature. Drop your beliefs. and drop the belief that it would be better if you transform what appears. It's an illusion. Just drop the belief that whatever appears is real. Crystal clear.
Crystal.
Crystal clear. Clear. C'est clair comme du cristal. Limpide.
About what you said, lecture of, for example, Upanishad or other texts are so helpful to, whatever, pour aiguiser.
Yeah, to sharpen.
Voilà.
Yeah. Yes, it is an excellent tool. It's a means of knowledge. It's a tool to sharpen the discrimination.
Ganga?
Yes.
Is love an illusion of the mind?
Of the mind, yes. As anything else of the mind.
But, you know,
It exists. You can have feelings.
As it comes and goes, yeah. Is it an illusion?
Yes, it exists to your body, mind, to this aspect of you. It
What is it?
exists.
What is it? What is it?
An unreal cloud, unreal by nature, though it exists, it passes by.
It's like sensory.
It is.
Sensory? Is it?
You mean in that way?
Yeah.
Everything I know comes from senses or from thoughts. And thoughts can be divided with feelings and emotions. There are many kinds of refined thoughts. It's produced by something, which is the body-mind, our mind and the body.
So it's not, yeah, okay.
It doesn't mean that you cannot love anymore your wife. But no, that this is a result of some physical and mental chemistry.
Chemistry, yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's not who you are.
yeah. Another question goes along with this. I started when I'm observing my mind, and I notice when I start to give or surrender or help others, that my mind becomes quiet.
Help others.
Yeah, if I give, or
Yeah.
even if I feel even energetically and I mentally go
Yeah,
quiet,
but let
the
me-
mind goes quiet.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Why is that? Or what?
Because maybe it is a fulfillment of your temperament. You are made in such a way that for you giving is something valuable. So when you do, you are quiet because you fulfill what is near your temperament. But you see, you have to see the goal now. What is it? Is it to be peaceful or to realize who you are? What is the goal?
Both are good. Bit of peace is good now, it's helpful.
No, but
Yeah.
don't forget, if you realize who you are, this is peace itself. Don't worry. And the expression of it can go in so many ways. Because you cannot run after such two different directions. It will not work.
Okay.
You see, if you run after fixing or trying to fit your ideal of living, it goes from the somebody that you know quite well, or even if you don't know quite well, you don't mistake with somebody else, some body and mind else. So that start is there, and then you fulfill or try to fit your ideal of life. Very beautiful. I always admire those. But you see, what about the seer? Who sees all that? To realize a seer, you have not to be any more hypnotized by I want that the life is such, by a preference. And maybe the life will be fulfilled anyway this way, maybe not. But this is the price to pay to realize who you are. Not to take care about the appearance. It has its own intelligence and its own circumstances. Now it's it's your birthright to say, okay, I trust this will be all right, but I have to realize who I am in this life. So that depends on everyone, huh? And I don't want to force anybody, I can't anyway. But I just want to put things from where they start. So to realize yourself is to try to remove the step where you always go and start our beliefs and life. And to realize yourself, I don't know what I did say. What I said. To realize yourself. I'm sorry, I'm totally...
Remove the step.
To realize yourself is not to have that step. To realize your life, you have, without questioning it, take the step that you usually take. I am body mind, and then I would love that this life is this way.
Okay, yeah.
So it's
So one is trying to fix it, and the other is to realize yourself.
Yeah. And it can be done, but then by itself, without your will or doership, in some ways, this life.
You can't do both now.
You cannot search both, because then when you have time, you have no time for all that. And you are feeding all the time the someone who wants to have such a life, which is totally fine also, but it is not the same direction. You have to know, it's quite opposite. One goes with the base, I'm someone, and the other goes trying to leave behind the belief I am someone.
Yeah. I understand it.
Yeah.
One is logical and reasonable and do it, yeah. And the other one, your part, with head wrecking. Okay. Like it's I can't get my head around it, but I know the truth.
Okay.
I,
And why do you think the mind expressed this way? Head breaking.
my mind wants to fix things.
Yeah.
It always does.
So you
Always
are
did,
right. Yeah, but you are very right.
Yeah.
So you were going in a very good direction to realize yourself, because you see that your mind is breaking itself to try to exist when it cannot catch anything anymore.
And
if you know it is the right direction, maybe all this is because you still want to fight, otherwise let it be.
yeah.
Let it be. This mind, anyway, disappears.
See,
Let it-
there's nothing to do.
There is nothing to do.
That's that difficult thing. No, really, that's
But it will not be difficult if you give an instant to that, and you will appreciate what it is.
okay.
It's because you jump immediately to the terrible job of this mind to disappear.
Yeah.
Nothing to do.
Nothing
I
to say.
agree. But you still have to do something which looks like just now. It's not to grasp your mind. But for instance, just create instance in your daily life.
Seconds.
Yes. Yes. My master was even, he was a split seconds. It doesn't matter at the time. It's just to show you that you are bound to your mind, because now you may understand intellectually, but you have to just to realize it. Why at all shall I be bound by something which comes and goes and changes all the time?
So that's the direction.
That is the direction.
I've noticed since I've become to satsang the last couple of weeks, I'm waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
I wake up
you
and
are-
at that time in the morning,
Yeah.
there seems to be a big separate. I can see the difference. For maybe, I don't know, a few minutes.
Difference of what?
I can really see the mind.
Okay.
But later in the day, I'm in the mind.
Okay.
But at
Before
that
it
time-
gets very busy.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's-
Then why do you look at the mind? Why don't you just keep quiet as the seer of the mind?
Yeah, okay.
The important is the seer.
Yeah. And that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
And you don't need only at 4 o'clock, it can be at any time. It is always that's it, at some point. Because it is not far away, it is not in time. So it will always be just now. Just now. Oh, I deluded myself for so long, it's ununderstandable. Just now I see it. That happens, you see, when the mind is not too busy with ideals and trying to fix things in this world, or in the life, personal life. Otherwise, there is never a space to allow yourself not to grasp. There is never a space then. Good, you see
It's
much better the
this is
direction.
simple.
It's
Now
very
it's simple.
It's very simple.
Yeah, getting something. That's it, simpler now.
Linda, would you recommend that the whole day? Like to be observing the thoughts the whole day?
All day, no, I
No.
don't recommend.
You
I
don't
never
recommend
did.
that, no.
Whenever suddenly, and that will be generally when you are troubled, or it can be also when you have a quiet moment. Whenever you get this awareness of what am I doing, or what is all this, you see, that is the fire needed to realize yourself. So you still, one moment, okay, I don't grasp anything. Because I hear whatever I grasp anyway, it's feeding the person I think I am. Or who I am in reality is not only a person, it's an aspect of me. It exists, it shows up, but it's not real. That's a hard one to hear, and yet it's a fact. So just give an instant here and there, that will do the job much better than a long practice, which leads where? To a doer, to a meditator, and then again nothing has been done in a real sense. Yeah?
And then once you realize yourself, yeah.
Once you realize the self,
what happens once you realize yourself?
you love the afterwards.
I do.
I'm trying to come in from the window, you close the door.
Because I would like that you realize yourself.
That.
You want to get some news from where nothing can be expressed. So what was the question? I get interested now.
What happens once you realize? Like when we're not realized, so we observe and we can see that thought and not catch it and be in that place. But then once you realize yourself, where are you? And what happens with the thoughts? What would you?
They come and go.
They come
It's
and go.
their nature.
But you don't grasp them at all.
You don't seek. I would say that is a major difference. There is, because now there is an observer and the thoughts, okay, very good. You start to have discrimination. You start to understand that you mistook yourself for this and that. But still there is someone, I. This I, which is the one I know. Nah? So, once you realize the one I knew before, that aspect of me, is not troubling with the search. So why it should be an observer even of thoughts? It's just this self with all this manifestation also, as long, because that belongs to the living body-mind. Till it is alive, this will appear. Because the aspect comes with I. But there is nothing wrong with I, which is not taken for an aspect.
What do you mean by the aspect?
This body-mind. Aspect is what appears. Whatever appears is an aspect of what is. If you don't give an attribution to I wake up, but you give an attribution because what's waking up? Body, mind. If you don't give any attribution, as always you say I, it's always there. But you give attributions, that's the problem, because it comes and goes, attributions. Then you are troubled and this and that, and you search. If you don't give any attribution, is there any mind troubling you? Because you have to enter your mind to give an attribution. But you understood, I will not give attribution, so I will not enter into my mind. At least because I saw there is no way out, it's an appearance. It starts and it ends. So it's part of the manifestation of what I am. And to realize yourself is to have no doubt about it. You realize that from where everything starts and ends, you are that which doesn't depend on anything. All the rest you see depends on that. That's what I say. We're speaking of nothing. I don't mind to call it nothing, but that nothing is something. Then I have to speak in paradoxes.
Ganga, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, is it over?
Yeah, I don't know.
You may see.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, so there's no, it's just because if I understand right, you don't give any attribution. It's like you're not, in a way, you're not connected to anything really. Like you're not, or am I getting
Yeah,
that
but
right?
you see, it is to realize yourself.
Yeah.
I don't ask you to have a life like this. You have to trust. Let this life react according to your circumstances, but not to realize who you are. That's why I say give an instant. I don't tell, give, you can't anyway have an attention 24 hours in your mind. So give an instant in order to be able to realize. So like this, you don't feed the one you think you are. Is to free you from the belief that you are something else. In the beginning, maybe if you do that kind of exercise, you will, anyway it is you, the one you think you are, who does it. But at some point I say keep quiet, so don't grasp. And as I said, what happens when I keep quiet? There is not much there.
No.
So let it melt from where it comes. Yes?
Yes, my question is, I is consciousness?
You see, I prefer not to give descriptions. But you can say, yes, who you really are is consciousness, is awareness. But what does it mean? It is that which is not into time, which has no start and no end. Means it's always available, it's here. Only that exists.
Consciousness.
As a concept, you may say so.
Mm-hmm. Why I ask you that question? Because when you are in a deep sleep, and you say, I don't exist, I have no information when you are in deep sleep.
You don't say I don't exist, huh?
No, but I mean you don't have any consciousness.
Yeah, you don't have anything. Yeah, there is nothing there.
So why I ask you the question?
And who knows that?
Yes, of course.
What knows that?
Myself, I know that. But
I
put
called
the concept of the consciousness when I ask you that.
Yeah, awareness. That which is aware of, that awareness
Yes.
is what is. You cannot negate that, can you? Can you
No.
throw it away?
No,
Can
I
you
cannot
reject it?
No, I cannot reject. But if I am a consciousness, I can speak about consciousness.
Like what?
And I cannot deny I'm consciousness. I have tried to express what I am.
No, you can say, I'm awareness itself, I'm nothing itself, I am
So,
that itself.
If I forgot the name of consciousness,
Mm.
I'm totally aware.
You tell me. If you
And in that state, I cannot give any name, any concept.
is there anybody wanting to give a name or a concept there?
No. Why I say that?
Okay. Mhm. Okay, you speak to convey if is it all right to say there is consciousness, or what do you really want to convey?
Because this name of consciousness,
Yeah.
For me, it could be also a concept.
Yeah, you can have the experience of
Yes.
consciousness where there is all this understanding of manifestation, non-manifestation, and all that, but it's an experience.
Yes.
That you will recognize because
Yes.
it fades away, and especially it was not there before.
Yes, exactly what. Yes.
What
exactly.
is not
Yeah.
there before is only an experience.
Yes.
Realization is not that like, oh, that realization was not there before. It was always there. But hope one can understand that. But I say, if anything was not there before, it's not yet that, because it's still a shape.
Yes. Yeah.
What troubles is that I can take many shapes. And I, from a personal I, I think I am this, can jump into some other layers of the mind where it becomes uncatchable I, but with this with an experience which is new. It started. It was not there before. Then you can be sure it is still an experience of somebody. So, who you really are has no start. So that's why it is very funny to express this way, but I think it's still a good way to say you realize what was already realized. Bon. And in time, there is a kind of experience, but I call it of a fading I, which took himself for a seeker, for example. And then he can say, oh, at that time, particular time, oh, I free myself, I'm freeing myself. So it's still, so it was not there before. So one has to keep so quiet that he doesn't even grasp that. Otherwise he will fall again in an experience which starts, which has a beginning.
That I know. But when you say don't think and don't put your mind, the mind cannot understand.
Mm-hmm.
So the mind cannot understand. The mind understands with consciousness, and also.
Oh, but what do you mean by that?
Yeah. So
What?
this is very, for me, it's very, very.
Oh, why you bring the mind?
No, because
Why do
I
you
was
bring the
looking-
understanding of the mind?
because
The
we-
mind doesn't understand?
We need consciousness to understand.
But realization is not an
No,
understanding.
but I don't speak about realization. No, I just want to because I was looking that for a few days, and why I asked you that question, because it was not very clear to me that consciousness.
No, but it is not very clear. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
yeah.
to.
Why I asked you the question?
How come? Listen. The mind, so far, in all the history of the wise men, has never understood. It doesn't, it disappears where it comes from. What we call self-knowledge, what do you call the self-knowledge? The knowledge which is in Yoga Vashishta? Experiences. The knowledge which is in the Vedas? Experiences. The knowledge which is in the end of the Veda, which is called Vedanta, self-knowledge. The understanding is about what you are not. With the mind. And once you realize who you are, who is there? Who is there agitated to know, or who wants to know what? There is no understanding here. Self-knowledge, what we say, self-knowledge, I wonder, maybe in satsang, to indicate, is it called self-knowledge? It's an indication, a means to remove beliefs. Even the belief I am I. It is not an understanding, it's a means. It's an indication. Huh? Afterwards, a very good example of this sleeping state. Because when it is said, when you reject everything, so you reject whatever you think is real and so on. But the states of a person itself shows the way, how to sleep. It rejects, only like this, it rejects the world. Huh? So the world can be rejected. Everybody has this experience. All the world has this experience. So the world can be rejected. Now, if one doesn't realize is the awareness, who knows, I slept, he has not rejected I as a body-mind. You see? That's why people don't realize still, even if they reject the world. So it's very important to come to this question, who am I? Who am I? And the answer will not be mental, will not be an understanding, will not be a feeling. The answer is that there is nobody there to consider everything. And that's what one is.
So say we let go of the I when you sleep, just fall asleep.
I sleeps in order to sleep. He rejects the world, so he can do that, but himself he cannot reject himself. For that there is a tool. That question shows that I is an aspect of you, and you have to go back from where it appeared. And that's what you are, from where it appeared. And that awareness, you can say so, or that, has no shape. Otherwise, again, we fall into I see a shape or experiences something. So once you click to that, oh, that awareness, that is always here. There is a surrender of the mind to try, in the sense that he will not try anymore to make it out what it is. That is called surrender. And how he surrenders, it's because it just went back from where it came. So it just keeps quiet there. For that, he must have seen enough, understood enough, that all that feeling and understanding will not do. It's unreal. In that way, it's very important, and we spend generally a few years in this kind of investigation. To empty the interests on false reality. That one is still there, Norma. How come?
No.
No.
I realized, when I asked you about the consciousness,
Yeah.
it was too empty. Too empty, even that.
Yeah,
that
whatever.
I mean.
Listen, whatever can be emptied just drops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drop that.
Yeah.
Why I ask you
If
that
you
question,
can drop,
yes.
if you can drop it, it's because there was still some fruit which was made. So who cares how what
But I have
is
to
this
put-
called?
to ask you that
No,
question.
you have to, but I have also to see
Yes,
if it is done or undone.
So
I don't mind about names, but
Yeah.
generally they are charged with something.
Yes.
So in that way, I have to be sure. What does it mean? So whatever can be dropped.
Because you know
You
why
drop
I
it.
ask you that question? Because when you, for example, you are sick and you fail, and you say, I lose consciousness. When you are, something happened to you, your body
Yeah,
fell, and
yeah.
en français on dit,
Oui,
je me suis
oui,
trouvé
oui.
mal.
I lose
Hein?
consciousness, yeah.
Bon. In that moment, nothing happened because you have no experience.
Reference. Yeah.
You just have the experience when you wake up from this
Yeah. Yeah.
this happened.
Mm.
But even when your body is
Yeah, unconscious.
unconscious,
Yeah.
there is something which is know everything, even this experience, but well.
But you are always here.
Yes.
What
why-
you are,
yes,
you
yes.
are always here.
Yes, why I ask you about the consciousness, because that was...
The thing is, listen,
Yeah.
many people in this world know this. They get unconscious because of the arm. The thing is, when they go back to the mind, they have not emptied their mind, emptied of beliefs. So they go back to the mind and they go back to the beliefs. Otherwise they would be realized. Why not? You see? So, when you realize, it's also because you have seen what is the mind, the nature of the mind. If you have not seen it before, you will go back. That's how it happens also with glimpse. Glimpses, what is a glimpse? It could be totally all right. But the thing is that suddenly something appears and poof, the beliefs system is again alive. We have to unplug that. But for that, that's what I say. Discrimination, investigation, that takes some time. Generally speaking, I don't speak of exceptions. So, then when something appears, you will not be fooled by it. Okay, what can I do? I will not try to change that, but I'm not fooled by it. I know its nature. That's all. Many people know in their childhood, I hear many people know as have glimpse of themselves, of what is. Through some event in childhood, it can happen also. But the mind has not been demystified. So they still search. And they will search more because they have known something which looks so real.
Ganga,
Yes.
talking about sleep, the last two satsangs I've had to struggle a lot with sleep.
Yeah.
And then, when you talk to Brahman,
To Brahman?
yeah,
No, to Brahman. What a talk. Yeah.
it just dawned on me that something in me still wants to know, but not to know what is not,
Yeah, to know what it is. Yeah, I will not abdicate so easily, sure.
This just, wow.
But you see,
And then I was awake.
excellent. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, he was sleeping because he was getting bored with what is not. Anyway, good, you saw? One thing less. Unless you love it so much that you will take it back. No. Yeah, one makes tremendous effort to know what it is, to make it out. Tremendous effort. Useless, unhappily, absolutely useless. This is the pride, huh? The basic pride of I. Okay. Okay.
It feels like drowning or suffocating.
Go on.
Pretty freaky, eh?
This I invents everything, not to be touched. Don't worry. Are you in deep water or in a place without oxygen? Hmm? It's part of the dream. Thank you very much.